Hi, I'm Wild Bill, and this is my most recent post to Facebook on 28 May 2017. I guess it's time to write a new song, and we're working around a few concepts, but a song is an artwork, and for me at least, that requires a specific inspiration. Sometimes I will, however, simply sit down and focus upon writing, and a song is built thereby. That experience, too, is sparked by an inspiration. Where do these inspirations come from? Are they heavenly or infernal? Are they nothing but internal, inside each of which a kernel of your painful wisdom grows? Or are currents deep and ancient, sometimes radiating content, so your mind hears what your soul meant all those many years ago? Carlos Castaneda, infamous pseudo-cultural anthropologist, progenitive cultimulturalist, trendsetter for the coming yuppie coffee book table revolution, not to mention New York Times book lister, best-selling author, postulated in his The Teachings of Don Juan, A Yaqui Way of Knowledge, wholly fictitious but extremely entertaining, that there were two sides of being, of mind, the tonal and the nagual. The tonal is the side of you that comprises everything you know, all you can count on, all your surface thoughts, dreams, and experiences. You cannot exceed it, you cannot leave it, because your conscious mind accepts that it is everything there is. The nagual is the dark side of being, all the unheard thoughts, things you do not or cannot know, one source of fears and vulnerabilities, and by balance, of fearsome power, ultimately, the sun source of all creativity and the sole means of reaching out beyond our physical limitations of perception and conception. Naturally, his basic premise was subtler still, to wit, everything, from credulity to infinity, is shaped by perception. Nothing is immutable, nothing is certain. The mind, the soul, is an actor in a cosmic weave of energy flows, most of which will ever be outside its comprehension. In his books, therefore, everything is possible through the act of changing perspective, whether it be flying through the air like a missile, leaping tall buildings at a single bound, or moving mountains by power of mind alone. Some folks are sure that the power of belief is the true power, and obviously Carlos is one of them, though his choice of spiritual anchors, read none, is strangely deficient. Certainty is a beautiful thing, really, and I have nothing against it unless it is used to abuse the innocent along with the guilty. That's why vigilance is important, too, and oversight. I live in the state of free and flowing creativity. Certainty is anathema to me, and I do not either regret it nor disrespect those who have obtained it. I cannot live within it, and because I am human, my sort must have a place in society too. Without creativity, there would be no progress. Genius comes in two varieties, innovative and interpretive. Interpretive genius is incredibly useful and wonderfully evident and often very well compensated. But it only exists because there are concepts and breadboards and prototypes and hypotheses and harebrained ideas, and these come from innovative genius. Sigmund Freud, talked about a subconscious, a hidden cistern of unresolved childhood and infant conflict. He believed, and was, to be fair, occasionally coked out of his mind, that the subconscious was the real man at the helm of your soul. B.F. Skinner, who, arguably the worst man ever, took that a step farther in his Beyond Freedom and Dignity, in which he explained his decision that all people must be forced to grind mercilessly at the gears of the machinery supporting the privilege of the few, while living like Morlocks of Fritz Lang's Metropolis in 1929, without bothering to certify that the rulers had any mandate of heaven, ennobling them the right to treat us so. I have come to think that my personality is a product of two separate dimensions of conception. On the surface layer, where the I, the person I purport to be at the moment, am, the product of several streams of consciousness, flowing, conflating, canceling, enforcing, enlightening, interacting well or poorly with one another, so that my personality is their ephemeral product. It is not certain, it is not constant, except within certain narrow parameters of cultural imprinting. This person changes with my sugar level, my endocrinal balance, and the various levels of my frustration, fear, anger, or joy. This is all an overlay, however, to my basic personality, and as I have said for over a decade, personality is the scar tissue that grows over trauma. Ultimately, although heartrendingly sad, and I heartily grieve at any deep wounds of the soul suffered by my loved ones and yours, this is not necessarily a bad thing. In one way, it is a tribute to resilience, of strength of courage, of potential, of victory over adversity. With all that in mind, I ask you again, Where does the inspiration originate? Thanks for listening.